All right, guys, I think we are live. I just want to check the sound real quick, and hopefully someone will pop in here real quick and let me know. Let's see. We got a lot to cover today. This is going to be a little longer than usual. Usually it's I try to keep it to like 20 minutes. We always end up going to like 30 minutes. This one I'm kind of going to let it fly, and we'll try to do segments in the comments. Okay, sound is good. Great. All right, guys, so let's kick this off. And first things first, welcome if this is your first time visiting the Unity channel. Welcome. Happy to have you. And we try to do these every 2 weeks. Sometimes if we have a lot going on, we'll try to do it every week. That would be ideally like every Sunday. But right now we're pretty much at like every 2 weeks, roughly around there. All right. Let's go ahead. Let me head over to the notes. All right, so we got a lot to cover. A lot going on. And we kind of ramped up extremely heavy in the fall. We had a ton going on. Guys, I mean, the whole team was working around the clock, literally 24 hours a day. It was getting absolutely crazy, which is obviously beneficial for the project itself. In December, we were predicting that we were going to be able to launch pretty much the first week of January or so, second week of January, maybe being the latest. But essentially what happened to a lot of these developments, which I'll get into later, is we decided to basically increase the value of each development, because as we were developing, we started learning new things, meeting new people, meeting new developers that wanted to add additions to the developments. So that's currently kind of what's going on and why we haven't had those major releases. We didn't have those major releases in January. So let's go ahead before I jump too far ahead. Sorry, the Telegram's doing its thing. Let me just make sure I'm in the right section. Okay. All right, guys, so for the B&B rewards, we're going to start doing this every time. So it's not complicated. This is not going to be, hey, you have to comment in or the chat or anything like that to get B&B rewards. All you're going to have to do is you're going to have to just make a comment below, and we're basically going to scroll through the comments, and then we'll basically message you and let you know, like, hey, you're one of the reward winners. And then we'll go ahead and set up a DM so we can get your wallet address. We don't want to make it public. And then we'll make sure that you get those B&B rewards, just to cover that. Yes, I can see the comments. Thanks for posting that. And all right, guys, so I don't like to beat around the bush, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing we're going to cover, so I kind of wrote a lot of details. Usually I like the free flow and just kind of talk about things, but with so much going on, I want to make sure I cover everything not precisely, but close enough. So RYIPAY version 2. So this is something we've been working on for probably a couple months, not too long, maybe like 2-3 months. This is version 2, though. This is not going to be, currently we have RYIPAY on Android, Google, 100% good to go. It's got all these amazing features, Blockchain Academy. It's got the Smart Swap. We got Transact Payment Gateway, pretty amazing app. Honestly, like I use that app preferably over others just because of the speed and the accessibility. And I mean, I like all the features, the market feeds. It's got 12 different market feeds on it. It's a pretty amazing application. However, it wasn't, basically when we did the audit with Apple, there was 12 corrections that needed to be made. And over time, we were able to get it down to 1. However, we weren't able to cross that bridge for that final 1. And that's why we brought in a new developing team. And then we essentially made the decision that we had a new developing team come in. We actually had 2 new developing teams come in, and they are currently, and then we decided that we wanted to do a version 2. Hey, if we're going to bring on 2 developing teams, what talents do they have? A lot of the talents that they had, besides the technical aspect, was the UI and UX. They looked at our Google Android and they said, hey, I know a lot of, or I can make a lot of improvements to the current UI that you have on Google Android. And, obviously we agreed because we wanted to see what type of features they wanted to include. And they were very modern, and I thought they were very eye-catching. So we're working on incorporating those. I'm going to have demos coming out here shortly, hopefully within the next week or two. We'll be posting those in the main chat so you guys can see the new upgraded UI UX. So yeah, we're going to be showing off the new UI UX here shortly. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's very modern. It's a little bit different. I really like the last one. However, it was recommended from the developers that they could increase or they could basically make it more appealing to the commercial market, which is exactly why RYIPAY was created, for the commercial market, because that's our integration, basically medium from the crypto, BSC, Uniswap, whatever chain we're working on, in order to bridge the gap into, hey, this is my first time being introduced to crypto. I want to get involved, but I don't know how. Hence why we created Blockchain Academy. If you guys haven't seen Blockchain Academy, I highly recommend you go over to Google Android, type in RYIPAY or Google Play, and you guys check out Blockchain Academy. It's pretty impressive. We're actually going to be bridging that into a desktop version, and we're going to be adding a lot more features to that as well. So we are currently in the process of being audited again by Apple. So as we are being audited by Apple, we're going to begin showcasing the application to the community, and we want to basically show you guys the new UI, UX, and some of the new features. Okay. Okay, so some of the new, we're not getting too crazy with the new additions, because you guys have to remember, this is not for the BSC market, for people that have been in crypto for a long period of time and that are very savvy, very tech savvy as far as utilizing these dApps. This is for us to bridge the gap to the commercial market, to people that are just beginning to get into crypto. So we're not getting too crazy with the additions quite yet. We will over time. But the first addition that we're looking at is NFT wallet storage. NFTs are obviously trending, and that's something that a lot of people are getting into. So, hey, that's something that the commercial market really understands. Someone that's new to crypto, they understand NFTs to some degree, but they understand enough for us to create a wallet so that they can store their NFTs on a mobile application, something as simple as clicking on your phone and entering your code, using your app or using the mobile app, and you're able to utilize a wallet storage. The second integration is a little more complicated, but that's not going to be something that the user is necessarily going to use. That's something along the lines of business integration. RYIPAY was created for the commercial market, but there's also basically a secondary use case for that, and that's business integration. And that's something I've been working on for since last spring. We've been meeting with a lot of the local, especially Los Angeles businesses that I'm about to list off, or not list off their names necessarily because of NDAs, but I'll list off as far as like what their products are. But that's probably the secondary biggest use case for RYIPAY is business integration. And that's something that we found. It was easier, honestly, it was easier to talk to these businesses and basically pitch them on what this application does and showcase them and showcase the application to them over lunch or whatever, Zoom, didn't matter. They were heavily intrigued by this because they want to be competitive within the market. And now I'm able to do these face-to-faces with these businesses, and we're able to show them how easy it is to use this application within their company, but also primarily for their users. So the users will be able to use this application through the company, through us. And so some of the companies that originally it was just clothing companies, a couple different clothing companies, and then e-commerce. However, that's expanded because I actually haven't stopped recruiting businesses the whole time in hopes that we were going to be able to get this gap filled with, or get past this audit with Apple, which I'm extremely confident. And we are constantly building the dev team in order to accomplish this. Let's see. I think I wrote them out. I think we're gonna touch on that a little bit later, actually, because we're gonna talk about like partnerships, stuff like that. All right, so moving on. We're going to move on to UNITYDEFI. Okay, so UNITYDEFI has some pretty exciting things coming. And right now we have the current staking pools that you guys currently see. We have the NFT marketplace. Obviously, we have the swap. The farming pools we are laying off just because we want to try to mitigate the supply until we're able to bring in the volume in order to lower the supply for UV. So the liquidity pools, the farms will come. However, we have a pretty cool solution to that that's coming up here shortly. So next up for UNITYDEFI, we have the dual reward pools. So that is something that I've been trying to, with our developer Hadrian, been talking to him as far as, is this possible? Can we do it? And the answer is yes, we can do it. We can have dual reward pools, meaning that you stake in one pool and you're going to get 2 different tokens as rewards. So this is where you'll be able to earn dual rewards for staking in one pool. Now, something that we're looking into is VIP pools. Will allow us to bring on influencers, advisors, other projects from other project team members, etc. So we're going to be basically doing this like a layered tier. So we're going to have multiple VIP pools. So that's something you guys can look out for here shortly, because the staking pools is a small development. It doesn't take long to establish these. This is just something that we have to coordinate with the developer, and then he's able to basically write up the contracts and then deploy them. So we're going to have basically tiered VIP pools that I'll probably touch on maybe on the next brief, because I'm still working the details out for that for this week with the developer. But the biggest thing that we're looking at to implement this week is going to be the liquidity staking pools. So basically, instead of farming, which is, you have to worry about various different things, but as far as the staking, you're basically just going to be able to stake your LP tokens and earn a reward. So that's going to be coming, and that's going to be pretty amazing for us, because that kind of solves the issue with the farming and how we really wanted to mitigate that. You're still going to be able to not farm, but stake your LP tokens. So that we're talking RYIPAY, UV BNB, FAMI BNB, Viva BNB. The next projects that are coming on, they're going to be able to stake their LP tokens and get rewards. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Okay. Swift NFT. Oh yeah, guys. Hey, just a reminder, we haven't gone too in the weeds with this because we are still, I'm going to get into the review collection and all that stuff later, but we essentially wanted to launch together. But Swift NFT, just a reminder, the NFT minter is ready to go. Development is ready to go. So now we are officially, along with Swift, one of the few projects on all of Binance Smart Chain to have an NFT minter. So that's a big kudos to the team, to Swift, and to Lee, their CEO. And the fact that we were able to accomplish that is a huge milestone, because that's just going to set us up for success here in the future. Now we have one of the few NFT minters on all of BSC. We're beginning to prepare other NFT projects for their collection launches off the minter. So there are many benefits to launching. So basically, it's going to serve essentially as a launch pad for BSC. So these NFT projects that are well established are going to be able to come on and use Swift NFT. We have it all laid out as far as the processes. They're going to be able to launch their collections, and these collections, a large percentage of these NFTs are then going to go on to the UNITYDEFI NFT marketplace. So that marketplace is about to grow drastically over the next 6 months. Be available on the UNITYDEFI NFT marketplace, bringing much larger exposure to the platform, and obviously much larger variety to the NFT marketplace. And this will also add to our staking pool collection as well. We are currently shooting. We're not shooting. We're headed towards 15 staking pools, and that was our first target. Our first target was 10. I think we're going to essentially blow past that here shortly, especially with the LP token staking pools coming out. I think that's going to push us pretty quickly into 15. And then obviously our next target after that is going to be 20 staking pools, all operating at the same time. So huge kudos to the team for that. Congrats. Having an NFT mentor just basically opens the doors to endless amounts of success, especially within the NFT spectrum. And BSC is a relatively new market to new to the NFT market, which is really exciting for us because as long as we work hard, grind, and do the appropriate things, it's going to be a huge success. All right, so let's look at NFT or RevU. Okay, so RevU, we've touched on this last time. So currently working on integrating Gen 3 NFTs. So basically we went from Gen 2 NFTs with metadata, which are specialty traits metadata. And we essentially made the decision as we kept pushing through the development, we basically were learning more as we went. And we decided that we wanted to go from kind of a tier 2 collection launch to a tier 1 collection launch, which is extremely difficult to do. A Gen 3 launch with metadata and there's additional features on top of that is extremely difficult to do. However, we made the decision that that's what we wanted to bring to RYUnity. We didn't want to dilute anything. Not that we ever were going to dilute anything, but that's what we decided to do. We wanted to bring a tier 1 collection launch to RYUnity, and that's what we're doing. And I think that was a good call. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more complicated. However, that's what we're doing now. So if you guys are wondering like, hey, what's the delay or what happened in January? Why is this a couple weeks late, whatnot? That's because we basically we are capable now of launching a Gen 3 with metadata, specialty traits, and everything. And so that's what we're currently doing. I'm not going to provide an ETA quite yet. I'll provide the ETA later this week. I'm supposed to get the ETA in like about 3 to 4 days. So as soon as I get it, I'll make sure you guys have it so you guys can plan appropriately. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Is this through the weekend? Yeah, we've been meeting. We met yesterday, and the team met yesterday, and we're also going to be meeting, I think, later tonight to basically start discussing timelines as far as the next steps in the process. And then in about 3-4 days, like I said, I'll have a ETA for the community, for everybody, the market, so you guys can have a basically a rough estimate and you can plan accordingly as well. This is meeting throughout the weekend. So we're basically essentially once Gen 3 launches, right? We're going to have Gen 2 NFTs with metadata. We're going to have Gen 3 NFTs with metadata. So we're going to be sitting in a really, really good position to really make our basically break out into the NFT spectrum. Then you throw on the NFT Mentor with Swift. So now you have 3 huge factors that are all essentially going to be launching at the same time. So this is going to be, that piece is going to be extremely exciting. It's going to be crazy. But right now we are in the work phase. Right now, the team is working around the clock, coordinating, making sure that everybody's on the same page, 3-4 groups, all coordinate at the same time to make sure that we launch this correctly because it is a difficult launch. However, the hardest piece to all of this was the Swift NFT Mentor, and that is complete, which is huge because that opens doors for not just the next like 3 months. We're talking the next year. This whole year is going to be really beneficial for Swift, RYUnity. The options are essentially limitless when it comes to having an NFT mentor, especially on BSC. There's very few. If you guys look, I think that we counted like 7 and maybe 3 are operational. So we're going to have one of the very, very few NFT mentors that's going to be in full-blown operation and going to have a team pushing behind it and bringing on these projects launching these projects and showcasing their NFTs, their talent to the world. All right. Additionally, on top of that, so we're coordinating with Phoenix Blockchain. We talked about Phoenix, quite a bit. Amazing blockchain coming up. They're operational right now. However, they have they have FireC. So FireC is going to be launching here relatively, within short term. I don't want to put any numbers on that because it's not obviously our project. However, we've been working closely with them, and we're going to be launching a collection, whether that's going to be utilizing some of our Gen 2 with metadata or Gen 3 with metadata. We're going to be launching a collection on FireC as well. So when that goes live, we already have everything, all the backend prepped. So when that FireC goes live, we're already going to have our page, and we really want to get involved with FireC and be a player within that platform itself. And I'm really excited with that. We have good communications with their team. It's an amazing project. I'm excited to interact with their blockchain and what the future holds with them. They have a huge stack team, and they're going to do extremely well. And we really want to be a part of that. Let's see real quick. Okay, let me make sure I don't leave anything out. Okay, so let's go into partnerships. So partnerships currently where we're at right now is a very big priority for us because a lot of our platforms, especially even commercially, require partnerships. So it's kind of a two-pronged beast right now, because right now we're working on partnerships internally as far as BSC, whether that's Phoenix Blockchain, BSC, Knowles. Obviously, we work closely with Knowles as well. We are developing those partnerships as well, but we're also working on commercial partnerships outside of the immediate crypto market, because that is where dating back from a year, we have been developing. If you look at all of our developments, they're all basically prepped to break into the commercial market, on top of becoming an LLC and getting all the licenses and certifications that we needed a while back. This is all preparation, for the big picture. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. There's also another side to this, and it's commercial partnerships we are pursuing, which is, what if we do the process? However, we're constantly in talks with commercial companies such as sports apparel. This is what I was talking about above. Sports apparel. Those were the first two companies that we basically were in negotiations with. This goes way back when, and they basically, we had an NDA. We were ready to go. We were waiting on RYIPAY. We were optimistic that we were going to get approved by Apple. We couldn't get over that last hurdle. But however, we've maintained those relationships, and we basically just keep them updated with our status. So we have sports apparel, popular drink beverage, payment solution companies, which that's been going on for about same time frame. You go all the way back to last April, May. We are working with multiple payment solution companies. We have been for quite a while. Clothing companies, that was one of the original ones as well, and then more. So we got sports apparel, popular drink beverage, payment solution companies, clothing companies. A lot of these companies are basically just being developed. A lot of these date back all the way to last spring. So they are pretty much just on standby waiting for us to integrate, because they are hungry. These companies, I'm telling you, they're hungry. I go out there and I talk to people and I do these promotions in person, and you talk to a lot of the people as far as the individuals that want to get involved in crypto. And it's like they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're nervous about the technology. That's why we built RYIPAY. Ultimately, they're very hesitant because of the technology. That's why Blockchain Academy is such a big deal. And you may not see it right now, but you are going to see it. I promise, here within this year, you are going to see Blockchain Academy basically change the game as far as our development integration into the commercial market. But these commercial companies, different story. They are hungry. They want in. They want to capitalize on everything. They just need a blockchain company that is going to put a face in front of them so they can work with them and they can basically integrate. And that is what is really, really amazing and really cool about these companies. It's not difficult. You're not necessarily trying to sell them on anything. You basically show them the developments, you explain it to them, you basically pitch them, you give them all your data sheets, everything, and they're sold right there because they are hungry. They want to get involved in the market. They want to get involved in the NFT market, and we provide that capability for them. And so essentially, they are literally just on standby, waiting for us to complete. The first one is RYIPAY V2 version 2, or just getting approved by Apple in general, because we're already registered with Apple. We're audited, registered. Not just the crypto the crypto company is registered, but I'm also registered with Apple. They had to verify me as well as far as the LLC and the blockchain company. So everything's been registered within Apple. So that's a huge weight off our shoulders and their shoulders. Not to mention we're LLC, we have all licenses, registrations, and everything like that. So we are lined up, primed, ready to go. Okay, we kind of went over January and why we transitioned to Gen 3, and that caused a holdup because basically we had to shift from the Gen 2 NFTs, and then now we had to create Gen 3 NFTs, and then now it's incorporation of metadata. So we kind of had to repeat the process with a little more knowledge, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's about it. That's all I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover one more piece. And then Steve saying, can you touch on creating a new social army? Yeah, guys, we're making a big marketing push on social media. We're doing this. Steve's kind of leading the way on this as far as Twitter intrinsic. And he's going to be establishing a group, a social media group. There's going to be more to touch on that. It's he's calling it the social army. We'll name it whatever we need to name it. This is kind of a new development, but basically we're creating a group. We want to establish new ways to operate within our social media platforms. And this is just, when we say social media platforms, we're talking about Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, maybe Facebook. I don't really know. But definitely Twitter. We need to change the game. We've done fairly well. Our social analytics, honestly, are pretty good. They're not too bad, but we need to get I want to 5X that. And so we're working on that right now. We're basically doing case studies of how kind of Shiba was able to do it. I mean, many of you know when Shiba came into the game, they didn't have any developments, but they were phenomenal at marketing as far as the algorithms and how they were able to utilize different methods that people were not privy to, and they were able to blow up, and they did. And they didn't even have to have any developments at the time. So a huge case study right there. And that's kind of what we're utilizing. We're also coordinating with Phoenix blockchain quite a bit. And we are looking to really take a lot of these proof use case methods and incorporate them within RYUnity, and then cross promotion with with a couple of different projects. Primarily, we really want to cross promote with Phoenix. They are a very progressive project, and they're very hungry, and we are very hungry. So we have that in common. And, we are looking to both thrive within that industry, especially we're going to start with Twitter. I really want to push into IG. We brought in help for IG. We brought in help for Twitter as well. And so we are basically pulling out all the stops. So I think you guys are going to see a big shift there within the next month. I would say 30, 45 days once everything takes effect. So we'll have that new group. Yeah, whoever wants to be a part of it, just go ahead and DM Steve. There will be rewards. We are working on exactly what that is. I can just tell you there will be rewards for participating within that group. So pretty exciting stuff, guys. A lot going on. That's kind of why I called it the Mega RYUnity Mega Unity update or something like that. Because it is a pretty big deal. All right. So I just wrote this little side note. Many think that we slowed down in January, and that was due to developments requiring additional material, technical aspects. But I promise you, This is far from the truth. And if that is what you thought, if that's what you thought, that's fine. Totally fine. You know, that's obviously your choice, 100%. But I promise you, we are full steam ahead and have actually never been stronger. 1 second. Just allow the team to work and grind, and you will reap the benefits here. You never have to worry about the team going anywhere. That's the one benefit. I mean, that's one of many benefits to RY Unity. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to continuously grind. We're going to continuously progress. And that's just, I mean, that's just the reality of things. Well, all right, I may have got a little too motivated, but I wrote we were building a nuke, and you know, we continue to. What we currently have in the ecosystem is probably, I would say, honestly, about 25% of what we will have short term. So all in all, I'm really excited and motivated to achieve or continue enhancing our ecosystem and building it into the true juggernaut in the space. That has been our goal from day one. That continues to be our goal, and we are going to hit that goal. I assure you. It's not a matter of if, guys. It's just a matter of when. So if you're kind of on the fence, I encourage you to get involved. I'm not saying go out there and load your bags or anything like that, but definitely get involved in the community and kind of see what's going on and maybe read between the lines. I do my best to be transparent with you guys. I really, really do. I know I have to improve in areas. I know the team has to improve in areas, but we are constantly grinding. And I don't want to say like behind the scenes or any of that because I hate that word. I try to be extremely transparent with you guys. Sometimes I get caught up in other things. However, I constantly need to improve. The team constantly needs to improve. And with that mentality, we will always continue to improve and we will reach our goals. I assure you that. Like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's just kind of a matter of when. When are we going to hit that juggernaut status? So with that being said, guys, it's been great. And I look forward to our next update. And I just want to thank everybody for, you know, the positive vibes and the just kind of the community. I know the energy's been kind of low the last couple of weeks or whatever, but that's about to change. So I will see you guys back in the group chat, and next Unity update we'll shoot for next Sunday, and I'll keep you guys updated. All right, guys, have a good one. Hope you had a great weekend.